I can go first.
Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
Do you ever have a hard time falling asleep after you've been scrolling constantly through TikTok or Instagram? The good news is that you're not the only one, and there's actual scientific evidence behind this. The bad news is that because of the evidence that backs it up, there's also some other negative effects that go with it. Some negative effects of screen time and phone usage are issues with sleep, depression, anxiety, and obesity. The reason that you have issues falling asleep is from the blue light that's emitted from your phone screen while scrolling. According to the HT digital streams, LED lights produce blue light, which is proven to delay the person's natural synthesis of melatonin at night, which lessens drowsiness. This also causes issues with staying asleep after you fall asleep. According to a study by the NAICS, because of screen time, there's a higher sleep disorder score, and thus the quality of sleep is less. This is also why blue glasses were created during COVID. Well, they weren't created during COVID, but they had a big boom because most people were online a lot more than they were used to, and they weren't used to the effects of the blue light. Another reason is being on social media pushes off sleep for longer. There's really no endpoint, and you can scroll forever. The US National Library of Medicine says that social media does not include a definitive endpoint, so the evening may be postponed in your sleep. This instigates an irregular bedtime, which can affect your sleep duration and quality. Another negative effect of phone time can be anxiety and depression. Many people feel lonely after spending longer periods of time scrolling on their phones or looking on social media. HT Digital Streams tells us that kids spending time on their phones are likely to be less happy, lonely, and suffering from depression and anxiety. There's less time for kids to be kids because they're constantly on phones, playing video games. They're not interested in going outside or playing as many board games as they used to be. And there's no time for them to rest and digest everything that has happened during the day. The NCHC Health Center says that rising rates of depression and anxiety in children are correlated with excessive screen time. Because of the phone availability, they don't have time to take a mental break. It's easy for people who have their own phones to just go on, watch YouTube or Netflix and never sit down. Or if parents are trying to cook dinner or get something done, to just hand their phones off to their kid and say, hey, watch some shows while I finish getting this done. This is also a generational problem. So sometimes kids have a hard time explaining it and adults have a hard time understanding it because they didn't grow up with it. The Rogers Behavioral Health System said that kids face more anxiety and depression than other generations because of screen time. So since the other generations aren't used to it, they don't understand as much as why kids go through it, and the kids have a hard time explaining it. A third negative effect of screen time would be obesity. Why go outside and play when you can just do the same thing on video games or watch a movie or go on Netflix or just scroll through TikTok? The HT Digital Stream says that they are being habituated to play on phones and losing that nature of just wanting to go outside and play. This is causing less physical activity and increasing issues among specifically in children. When you're playing those video games, watching those movies, you also tend to reach for some snacks. Definitely not going for the strawberries. Most people want like popcorn and chips and all that good stuff that you should only have sometimes. The US National Library of Medicine says that children who consume more screen time or screen media also consume fewer fruits and vegetables and more energy dense snacks where they get that energy from fats and so forth. And since there's less physical activity, it's going hand in hand in the negative direction. Being when you play these video games and watching movies, you're also exposed to more advertisements than those who are outside more or playing board games and stuff. And these advertisements are directed towards the audience because they know if you're on TV or watching a movie or watching a show, they're going to play those food advertisements. So you want to get up and get a snack. And you're also more likely to pick up these snacks when you go to the grocery next door because it's in your head from the last time you watched the movie, and maybe you want to buy them for your next movie night. The University of Toronto said exposed to more food ads, you're prone to snacking and overeating while distracted by your screen. So not only are you probably eating the things that you're not supposed to be eating because popcorn is always good with the movie, but you're eating more of it because you're not as focused on the fact that you are or not hungry because you're watching the movie or playing the game. Overall, the negative effects caused by screen time and phone usage include sleep problems, depression, anxiety, and obesity. It's hard to picture in your head that such a small device can cause so many issues. But the next time you pick up your phone to play a game, maybe consider going outside to play it, because after all, it's way more satisfying to score that goal in real life.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Any questions for Amy? Okay, who'd like to go next?
I can go next.
Is that Matt? Okay. Okay, we're ready when you are.
How many people or have a tattoo or plan on getting a tattoo? I myself have a couple of tattoos. Some of them have meaning, some of them I just like the placement and where they are on my body. Getting a tattoo nowadays is very socially acceptable and a lot more, not more of a problem than it was a couple of years ago. Tattoos have not only reached a new level of popularity, but tattoos and body art have been around for 1,000 years, well, longer than that. Tattoos and body art date back to at least 3,370 BC. Tattoos and body art have been around for many cultures, countries, and the first man discovered to have a tattoo, his name is Ozai. I can't say the last name. They called him Ozai the Iceman. And he was discovered to have 61 tattoos in various locations, most of them on his legs. With the discovery, he was the oldest man to have tattoos in a mummified state. So his skin never dissolved when he was being dead in the ground. However, many different places have found prehistoric bodies with tattoos, such as Alaska, Mongolia, Greenland, Egypt, China, Sudan, Russia, and the Philippines. With all these different places, tattoos have different meanings behind them and how people view them in society. In ancient China, having a tattoo was considered barbaric or frowned upon, and mostly convicted criminals have tattoos on their face or on their neck as a warning to other people in the society to let them know that they are a dangerous person and should not be trusted. However, in other places, such as Samoa, tattoos are a form of cultural traditions, and the traditions of giving and receiving a tattoo by hand in Samoa has been practiced for more than 2,000 years, and the skill is taught by passing down from father to son. The ceremonies are held to mark a young chief's ascension into the leadership role within the tribe. And once the ceremony is complete, the tattoos represent the celebration of the dedication of the culture. This process is, however, extremely painful because unlike tattoo guns and needles that we have in the States, I'm not sure about this. I can fact check it later, but back then they used turtle shells and boar's teeth to basically stick and poke the tattoos into their skin. And they do it from their chest all the way down to their sleeve and on their shoulder blade. The completed tattoo is a symbol and a celebration of the young chief going on to becoming the leader of the tribe once he is old enough. However, this is extremely painful, and those who cannot withstand the pain have the burden of an unfinished tribal tattoo on them, and it's a symbol of shame. In the 20th century, majority of the tattoos in the United States were found on circus performers and sailors to tell a personal story or their profession. Throughout the World Wars and the Great Depression, the survivors of the World Wars, the many of them that there are, have tattoos that symbolize that they lived through some deadliest wars in human history. As time goes on and tattoos became more popular between the younger generation, they were labeled as degenerates or the rebels of society for having tattoos because it's not a professional thing to have or having a visible tattoo on a professional setting. Parents would not approve of their children getting tattoos in their household for thinking that they would ruin their chance of getting a proper job or making a good living in a professional setting. As time goes on in the 21st century, it was becoming socially acceptable to have visible tattoos as long as they can be covered up with a sleeve or with long pants or a shirt. But as time in the early 2000s, young women would rebel against parents not accepting them getting tattoos, but men were allowed to have tattoos by getting tramp stamps, which were placed on the lower back. In the last 10 years, tattoos have become less lenient and more socially acceptable between men and women. Although in some professions, such as lawyers, CEOs of companies, they are not allowed to have visible tattoos. However, they can cover them up by wearing a nice jacket or wearing a suit and tie. However, within the last couple of years, more popular tattoo ideas are in unusual places, such as on the fingers or right behind the ear or on the neck. In conclusion, tattoos have been around for a long time, longer than some have realized. And it is interesting to see the impact on the society and cultures on how people view them nowadays versus way back then in other countries. In the United States alone, back then, you were labeled as a degenerate for having a tattoo. And nowadays, once you turn 18, you can go get a tattoo, and that is mostly when people start getting them. However, parents, instead of pushing away the idea of getting a tattoo, they just always remind them to be smart on the placement, location, what you want, and don't regret something you get at 18 that you're going to regret at 40.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt?
How many tattoos do you have?
I have a full sleeve on my right arm and a half sleeve on my left.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
How old were you when you got your first tattoo?
I got my first one right here, a family script on my forearm. I got it. I live down at the shore. I live in Barnegat, so I got it in Waretown, which is the town right next to me.
All right. They're very pain tolerant with all of those tattoos.
This rose was the worst. This one hurt the worst.
Ooh,
Fun.
I don't know if I could take it.
It really wasn't bad.
People outlawed from the group. Okay, who'd like to go next?
I can go next. Destiny. Thank you. Close it. Thank you. Let me know when you want me to start.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. Imagine being able to have a furry four-legged friend who loves you unconditionally and has your back anytime they are with you. That is what it's like having a dog as a companion. The benefits dogs give usually goes unnoticed, unfortunately. Some people feel as though dogs are annoying to have or just too much work to keep up with. Even though it seems like you have to do a lot for them, they have to do just as much for you. Humans need a lot of emotional attention, and that's exactly what dogs give. They always come to you when you need them, and dogs are even great at sensing if you are sad or sick. They often start licking your face or start nudging their nose against your hand or lay with you until you are better. Whatever the case may be, dogs are smarter than you think, and they are always able to be counted on. Even though this may seem odd, dogs give humans many benefits. For example, owners usually have a stronger immune system, helping them stay well and spend less time getting over sickness. Dog owners visit the doctor less often than non-dog owners and are less likely to be on medication. People even recover at a quicker pace from illnesses and have a higher chance, even have higher chances of beating heart attacks. This also helps kids and adults not miss any days from school or work. People cope better with chronic illness when they have a dog and can help one recover from personal trauma such as bereavement. They are great for mental health problems as well. Anxiety is one of the most common issues dogs help with. They can sense when you are panicking and start to comfort you as best as they could. Dogs help you enjoy the present and make you appreciative of life more. Even if you're okay and you don't have any issues, dogs are still great to have. A study found in Japan stated that staring into your dog's eyes raises the level of oxytocin. I can't pronounce, I'm sorry. Also known as the love hormone. Dogs give a natural mood booster. It is also stated that people are less likely to suffer from depression if they have a dog around. They are so adorable as well, and it's hard to resist them. Looking at something so loving and cute fills your heart with joy. They always make you laugh. They're there at the end of a hard day and give you something to do, playing catch with them or even going for a run. They are great exercise buddies. They won't stop bothering you until you take them for a walk or use the restroom. Dogs forces you to be active. Dogs also make it easier for one to make friends. When meeting new people, it may be hard to find a conversation starter. A great topic to start off with is dogs. If someone does not accept dogs as much as you would, it's a no-brainer that they're not the person for you, especially if dogs play a humongous role in your life. Researchers have found that about 40% of dogs owners had an easier time making friends. Dogs are a perfect way to get to know strangers and form new friendships. As expressed, having a pet dog is something everyone should experience. It does nothing but bring joy to your life. Pets give unmatched loyalty. They will be there for you and genuinely offer a sense of understanding and empathy. Dogs are just too great. They get excited to see you even if you live for 5 minutes. They keep your bed warm, literally just the best cuddle buddies, and give you so many kisses. It's genuine love from dogs. You never have to question if they love you or not. Unlike humans, everything is real with them. That's all. So as you can tell, I was writing about the best pet, which is a dog.
Okay, thank you, Destiny. Any questions for Destiny?
You have a dog?
Absolutely. You want to see her?
Yo.
I'm showing y'all right now. She's a little chihuahua. She blonde. Her name is Amy. Amy, come here. Come here, mama. Come here. I gotta show everybody you. Yeah, come here. Come here. Yeah, I was writing about you. There she go. Say hi. Say hi. I'm a little chihuahua. I'm mixed with something, but I don't know what else. Yeah. Yeah, Wooey. She's a little baby. Tiny.
How old is your dog?
Like 7 years old, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, had her for a while.
All right. Okay, thank you, Destiny.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for listening, guys.
Okay, who'd like to go next?
I would like to go next, Professor. Make me nervous for no reason.
Okay, Vicky, did you put your
I just did because I thought I submitted it yesterday, and then I went through the thing and I was like, it's not in there, and I'm just like, and then I was trying to log in Blackboard for like this whole entire day, and it wouldn't let me. And then I just submitted it right now, even though it was taking like forever to load. Like before I even signed in, it was still loading. I'm like,
okay.
but I did submit it. So I'm gonna start, and it's called Psychology Behind Hypnosis. All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever daydreamed? Once you catch yourself, do you realize what you were doing at the time? That's a form of hypnosis. Hypnosis is a state of highly focused attention or concentration associated with relaxation and heightening suggestibility. The whole idea of hypnosis sparked my interest a couple weeks ago. I watched a hypnotist hypnotize a class of seniors in their post-prom. It was astonishing to see the students do things that they have been way out of their character. The hypnotist was in control of their minds, making their senses completely unaware of reality. He made them feel hot, cold, be able to speak and translate an unheard language. One of my close friends, this is like, because I remembered it. This is from when I was a senior. So one of my close friends was affected by the hypnosis and had followed the hypnotist's command. Once he would say the keyword magic, my friend would get up, take off his shoes, and congratulate him for the show. He would then give the hypnotist his shoe. As soon as he gave him the shoe, he could not recognize that his shoe was off until the hypnotist asked if anybody lost their shoe. He repeated the process about 3 times. Every single time, my friend did it like it was his mission and forgot completely about his actions. It was a remarkable experience. Ever since that day, my perception of hypnosis has changed. It is a mind-blowing experience that not everyone is willing to participate in, yet those who are brave enough to partake in such activity leaves everyone in shock. as well as myself, who is willing to explore this phenomenon and understand the concept in which creates it. I always believed that it was an act, something fake that my friend had already known the hypnotist and was in shocking the crowd. Although it was a very real and it opened my eyes to witnessing strange occurrences that happen almost every day and affects everyone at any age in their lifetime. This topic has sparked my interest because psychology is something I have had an interest for a while. Therefore, I would pursue a degree not only in psychology and hypnosis, but also in teaching. Go in hand when implementing the idea of the mind. According to psychology behind hypnosis, most methods of psychological treatment could be misunderstood, especially when it comes to hypnosis. One of the many treatments that are used to help people and also help doctors and professors understand the mind. Clifford N. Lazarus states that hypnosis is a state of highly focused attention or concentration. This concentration is associated with relaxation and suggestibility. This means that when a person gets hypnotized, although it may seem like they're out of control, their conscious is still working. The reason they are unaware is because they are unconscious in their subconscious. The client might do something out of character, which is normal when they're not reasoning with themselves mentally and are just with their subconscious. This is where misconception comes in, because not many people agree with this idea that people will never do something out of the character, but while daydreaming, they can do the complete opposite within their own imagination. A lot of people, myself included, believe that we were under a spell when it comes to hypnosis. Excuse me. That you can do things against your will. That's the key word, will. Hypnosis only gets done when you permit yourself to want it. The practice will not be accomplished unless the client voluntarily gets hypnotized. It has been referred to a state of sleep, wherein in order to snap someone out of it, they need to be treated as if they were waking up. Whether it may be a push, a shove, or reassuring them about where they are, hypnosis can be taken away quite easily. You personally can test the benefits of self-hypnosis if you were to close your eyes and take breaths in and out slowly. You can get yourself in a mild trance. This is a state of comfortable relaxation, peacefulness, and bliss that helps someone enters this trance. That is very important because one must feel safe and comfortable in the environment which they are in. This is the stage that most hypnotists start you in. They tell you to be optimistic, to imagine whether it is whatever it is that they want you to do. This is another misconception. The hypnotist is not there to control you. He's there to coach you. This fact was presented by What is Hypnosis? By Kendra Cherry. Cherry states that although the person may seem tired and out of it, they're actually hyper aware to their surroundings. Now, just like with everything else in life, the effects are different for each individual. Some people are easily hypnotized. The younger you are, the easier you are to be hypnotized. Most adults are considered to be difficult or even impossible to hypnotize. Some of the most common myths regarding hypnotism are you can be hypnotized against your will, hypnotists can make you believe that you are faster, stronger, and etc. But that is only because they are there to help you believe in yourself. Somehow also make you do things others would call out of character. But in reality, it is just oneself realizing that you can do your own thing on your own accord, especially when it means believing in yourself and your own morals. The hypnotist has complete control of your actions. These are things I used to believe, but now have learned about hypnotism and how it actually works on a basic level. And that is all. Any questions on hypnotism? Or how to hypnotize somebody? No? Okay, thank you.
Have you been hypnotized?
No, not really. Not that I know of anyways. I hope not. But it really like when I remember that day, like because this was back in high school, like I remember this day and I was just like, oh my God, I remember that one time, like when I was like, oh my God, what if I talk about that like in an informative way? So I was like, we just talked about that experience that happened to me in high school. So I remember that. And I was like, yes, let's talk about it. But it was crazy because not only was like he would make people take off their shoes, he would also make them talk in like a Martian language and it'll just be gibberish. But they'll like fully, like fluently say something, like thinking like nothing's wrong in the world. And like it was crazy. And I was like, oh my God. Like it's crazy what people can make you do. And not just like on the will, but it's just like coaching you, like making you believe that like you got it. And what you do.
Thank you, Victoria. Okay, who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay. Okay, we're ready.
Okay. Taking care of yourself is important physically and mentally. It should be your priority. Approximately 45 million Americans go to the gym and have memberships. Physical benefits to going to the gym are boosting your immunity, energy, and getting better sleep. Some benefits you can get mentally are really the chemicals in your brain. Like when you work out, it makes you more relaxed, like after the fact, less anxious, and it leaves you feeling a little happier. Lots of people don't only go to the gym for the physical benefits, even if that is their goal. They go to distract themselves from their own minds and focus on something else outside of their personal lives. Being physically active boosts high density I can't pronounce this properly, lipoprotein cholesterol, and it decreases unhealthy triglycerides. This keeps your blood flowing smoothly and decreases your risk of cardiovascular disease. Other health problems that can be avoided in the long term by when you exercise are strokes, high blood pressure, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and depression. The list goes on, but those are just a few. It is also important to exercise every part of your body and all of your muscles. And if you do not, your body, it won't like be uneven and in proportion. It kind of would, but it leaves your inactive muscles a lot weaker than your others that you constantly work out, like the same ones. And you'll notice some activities in your everyday life to be more difficult once your muscles start to weaken. The gym is a safe place for lots of people. This is where they go to improve themselves physically and mentally. This is where they can come focus on their workout and be distracted by what they're doing inside the gym rather than everything happening outside. Other people who feel the opposite and don't enjoy being at the gym at all, that doesn't have any, obviously that doesn't have any benefits from being at the gym, but some people, they don't like it because they don't like people looking at them. They may not know where to start. They don't want to hurt themselves by doing anything wrong. But I encourage people to like research before
because that's what I do, because I get very anxious like when I go to the gym, because I don't want to like be doing something wrong to hurt myself and look funny. So researching and getting into it before you just jump right in is a lot easier. All right. Exercising can be a powerful tool in relieving insomnia. Sleep is something that everyone needs and is very important for our health also. Approximately 70% of adults say they have trouble falling asleep at night. Frequent exercise can help you fall asleep faster and deepen your sleep. Sleep also recovers your body from a workout and supports muscle recovery. When you sleep, your pituitary gland releases growth hormones, and this is what your muscles use to repair and build tissue. So there are many benefits to exercising that can improve your physical and mental health. If you need to get out of the house, start taking care of yourself, going to the gym is a great place to go, especially if you need a positive distraction from work, school, or your own mind.
Thank you, Alyssa. Any questions for Alyssa? Okay, who'd like to go next? Thanks, Alyssa. Okay, who's going next?
Veronica.
I'm wondering why you're not showing. Okay, there you are. Okay, Veronica, we're ready.
Okay. Have you ever thought to yourself that you use your phone too often? Scrolling down your news feeds or timeline for hours upon hours, or even choosing to stay up for hours on your favorite social media platform like Instagram instead of completing that assignment that is due by midnight? But upon that, there are some pros and cons that can affect us by using social media in an everyday basis situation. We may know the pros on being on any social media platforms. We know that being on social media can give us information about what's going on around us, and anyone can find out what their sorry. Let me screw down. Okay, anyone can find out what their closest friends are up to by the tip of their fingers. Most times you're not thinking much of it, that you're spending countless of hours on social media, indulging great news from friends or family members, witnessing random people cooking, doing makeup tutorials, photoshopping their photos, etc. Totaling up on those hours plus days spent on any social media platform. How do you feel? If people don't have control on the tremendous hours being spent on social media, their mentality can become ill. Being on social media for hours daily can make an impact on your mental well-being. Imagine going on Instagram or Facebook to see what's today's news. You're so pumped for the day, you're so happy, you're in a happy mood. You log into your account, then boom, you see your timeline is just mixed with positivity and negativity. People getting engaged, married, people winning awards, etc. Now you see that someone passed away last night, or people getting rushed to the hospital because they have COVID and end up passing away hours later. Imagine that. Now imagine seeing that every day on your timeline for hours, you're indulging it. Being on social media for hours daily can make an impact on your mental well-being because you will become depressed. People will become depressed because they will see negativity most of the time while they sit for hours and hours every day. Depressive symptoms such as low mood and feelings of breathlessness and hopelessness were linked to the qualities of online interactions in 2 studies involving over 700 students. Researchers discovered that those who reported more negative interactions had higher levels of depressive symptoms. This indicates that people all over that interacts with the social media for long periods of hours can start feeling hopeless or worthless. Their mood levels begin to be low, and they slowly become depressed. Being on social media for hours can make anyone have mixed feelings. We spoke about how being on social media for a period of hours can make you depressed, but how about becoming addicted? You put down your phone to stop procrastinating and focus on what you need to do. Ding, the sound of your notification going off again. Try to ignore it, and you even put your phone on silent. But there's an urge to grab your phone. You see what's going on? You gave in, now you're on your social media account. Back to step 1. According to research, tweeting or checking emails may be harder to resist than cigarettes and alcohol. According to researchers who try to measure how well people could resist their desires. With this research allows viewers to understand the consequence on being on social media for a long period of hours. Being that we now know that social media can be harder to resist than cigarettes and alcohol, let's think about how that makes you feel. Does this information help you understand how you can be affected mentally and emotionally and physically? If people don't have control on the tremendous hours being spent on social media, they can affect their physical and emotional well-being. A study published in American Journal of Preventive Medicine surveyed 1,787 19-year-olds to 32-year-olds, affecting approximately 97% of the US population, and discovered that those who spent the most time on social media were twice as likely to report feeling social isolation, which can include a lack of sense of social belonging and engagement with others and fulfilling relationships. According to a study, exposure to such a highly romanticized representation of peers' lives may inspire feelings of envy and the distorted belief that others lead a happy or successful life, which may increase perceived social isolation. Constantly using your free time to be on social media can have effects on your emotional and physical, because you can be so used to talking on social media and not used to talking face to face. To summarize, I want to acknowledge that social media can affect people differently, good or bad. Being on anything for too long can cause different side effects to your health. social media has its benefits and its issues that we must understand. It's just like eating fast food. Too much of it, you become overweight and get sick. But eating out occasionally is just for your enjoyment. It's healthy once you in control of what you're indulging in. That's it.
Thank you, Veronica. Anybody have any questions for Veronica? Anybody addicted to social media? Well, at least you know it, Victoria. You raised your hand very quickly.
I am, because regardless if I just like Veronica says, regardless I put my phone on mute, my phone emits like a little light sometimes and it'll alert me that I got messages. Even when it's off, the screen is off, it'll let me know I got messages. And I'm just like sometimes I gotta throw my phone the other way around. Just good about it.
Yeah, you got to go on one of those retreats where they take your phone away.
Actually, for this weekend, for this entire weekend, for since Wednesday night, I was off my phone. I was like, oh, that's crazy, because I was spending time with my family. So from Virginia and my road trip, I was literally just in the car, just driving with my dad, and we went to our family's home. And then we were just, none of us were on our phones, like maybe just to check the time, but it was literally the clock on the wall. We were just laughing. It was like actually spending quality time with our family. So it was a great experience. And I got back to my phone. That's when my head started hurting, just like today. I was like, oh no, I'm seeing too much screen time. It's already hurting my head.
That's great. That's Amy's stuff. Okay. We've got I think 3 more. Gabby, Julia, and I think I saw Chloe.
Me.
I'll go next.
Okay.
That's Chloe. Chloe will go next.
So I start or no?
Oh, Gabby's gonna go. All right.
Oh, Gabby next. Okay. Thanks, John.
Okay. Hi, my name is Gabby. The CrossFit is a way of life. You eat right, you train hard, you put yourself. It teaches you a lot about yourself. The CrossFit is a sport that has several benefits for people, and that is the combination of the power and durability activities that help to have a better mental and physical health. The permanent training helps to lose weight, increase endurance, tone your body, and improve coordination, among other benefits. The CrossFit is a different sport because it's not monotonous. Every day has a different activities, which make this sport a very dynamic activity. It also provides several benefits under a regimen of intensity in the work, and sometimes it's very important. And you always communicate with the people, so it's more better for you to a friends. The CrossFit is a physical a conditional program that is based on a periodic and constant training. and has a variety of functional movements and is development with a high intensity. Greg Glassman, trainer and gymnast, started in 1995 with a gym in Santa Cruz, California, where he began to develop his high-intensity functional training program applied to the Santa Cruz Police Department, and he was commissioned to train. In the CrossFit, the group classes are more dynamic, and the people like that. That's how the system to shape in 2000. The CrossFit is the most complete sport activities. Sign is the worst and varied and non-monotonous way. The main physical areas is agility, coordination, balance, flexibility, extreme power, precision, muscular endurance, and speed. This sport provides a great benefits for the mind and physical health. So we have that help to lose weight, increase endurance, and a more style body, and best all you enjoy a better health. Among the positive results of CrossFit, there are not only physical, there are a mental aspect. That is training will strengthen, such as provide extra concentration and motivation, reduce the level of stress, increase social relations, teamwork, a great self-confidence. All the benefits experienced in this sport are transferred to everyday life. At work in your studies, in your personal relationship, in your diet, in your habits, or you will have a healthy, a balanced lifestyle that you will feel more and more proud of, and which you will happy. The CrossFit is a sport that has become known a functional fitness sport or extreme condition program, but they are not identical to the concept of performance, because we are looking for another kind of exercise. Beginning on the beginning of functional training is a based on multi-joint or compost movements. It's very different from the typical ones done in a traditional gym, which focus on a specific muscles or muscle groups. In CrossFit, you're trying to work all your body. Every day, you realize a different exercise. This CrossFit is only, the name of the is what you only work 15 or 20 minutes. But when you work this time, you feel is the all your life past, because it's very hard. And the CrossFit is the high intensity. So you need to control. And the most important of the difference of the gym is when you go to gym, you focus only in yourself, and you don't, sometimes, you don't speak with nothing, or only listen to music and that's it. But in the CrossFit it's different, because you communicate with another person, or when you know you don't feel you can go more, the person say you can, you got it, come on. You feel that motivation, everybody you help for you continue with your sport. That is the very different with the go to the gym. In my personal life, I practice CrossFit. I like it. I'm trying to go to the gym, but I don't like it because I'm bored in the gym. I feel I sleep in the gym. But when I try CrossFit, I feel more better. So the environment on the CrossFit should be considered and a safe space to several people who share the same passion. So the exchange of impression and experiences around the practice, the facility conversation, and generate a new friendship. In relation to the previous point, you will see how in the box there is no shortage of people who support each another, either providing advice when performing an exercise or with paraphrase on the anchor member. So the CrossFit provides several benefits, mental, physical health, and it teaches people to overcome limits they never thought to cross. This gives
My love.
sorry. and improves their confidence. If the person has a high intensity sport oriented to generate fast results, to program designed to anyone can perform them. It has different style of running, so the friendship I generate is very fast way. So in each training there is a teamwork and support in the purpose of each exercise. The sport CrossFit is a complete activity that allows to develop a new skill in people, also has to generate a self-confidence and motivated, which contribute a better quality of the life. Thank you so much. Mhm.
Okay. Any questions for Gabby? I don't think.
How did you get into CrossFit, Gabby?
Sorry?
When did you get into it?
I almost 6 months.
6 months ago.
Yeah, I practice in my country, but I forget almost 3 years I don't training nothing. Now I don't try to return. It's not easy, but I like it.
You go.
Thanks, Gabby. Okay, who would like to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, we're ready, Chloe.
All right. Imagine after a long day of work, sitting in bed, your eyes are heavy, your pillows are fluffed, you're mentally drained, but your body won't let you sleep. You begin to toss and turn and try to get comfortable to force your body to fall asleep. You become agitated and annoyed because you know your body is tired and you need to get sleep, but your mind won't let you. Sleep is essential to perform daily functions. It allows your brain to go to sleep and recharge. In the health line, the longest recorded time without sleep is approximately 264 hours, or just over 11 consecutive days. Although it's unclear exactly how long humans can survive without sleep, it isn't long before the effects of sleep deprivation start to show. After only 3 to 4 days without sleep, you can start to hallucinate. Prolonged sleep deprivation can lead to cognitive impairments, irritability, delusions, paranoia, and even psychosis. Without sleep, your brain has no break to literally think and relax, and can actually have your head physically explode. Have you ever worked a double shift and then worked in the morning again, or crammed for a test, or cared for a newborn baby? Missing 24 hours of sleep isn't uncommon. And while might be unpleasant to stay up all night, it won't have a significant impact on your overall health. Yet it is still not good to do. An example is a study that shows that driving with a lack of sleep is like driving drunk. Studies compares a person who stays awake for 24 hours to a person with a blood concentration level of 0.10%, 0.10%, which is way over the legal limit. If you didn't know, the legal limit of blood alcohol level is 0.08%, so it's nearly double. In the health line, it compares people without 24, 36, 48, and 72 hours of sleep and lists the effects on the body. The more lack of sleep the person endures, the more increased symptoms it causes. By 72 hours without sleep, a person has altered personalities, hallucinates, and has illusions, like seeing a sign and think it's a person. By 72 hours, your body goes into shutdown mode and urges to sleep. Sleep is an essential function that allows your body and mind to recharge, leaving you refreshed and alert when you wake up. Healthy sleep also helps the body remain healthy and stave off diseases. Without enough sleep, the brain cannot function properly. Finally, my next final reason why sleep is important is because sleep is as important to the human body as food and water, but many of us don't get enough sleep. Insufficient sleep, inadequate quality of sleep, or disruptions to the weak-wake cycle has consequences for how we function in the daytime, causing sleepiness and fatigue. A sleepy, fatigued person is accident-prone, judgment-impaired, and more likely to make mistaken bad decisions. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the show's Grey's Anatomy, but if you aren't, it's a perfect example of what lack of sleep can do. It starts in the detail of life of surgical interns that work 80-hour weeks. An episode that I can remember is one of the characters was on a two nights in a row was on call, which means over 48 hours of no sleep. And he made a mistake by giving a patient too much medication, and the patient's brain swelled up and he was considered brain dead. People that do not get enough sleep are prone to make mistakes. Even if you cannot get the proper 8 hours they recommend, try and close your eyes for a few minutes so your body and brain can recharge. Lack of sleep can also affect a child's school performance and could be linked to increased risk of emotional problems such as depression. It's different from pulling an all-nighter once in a while, but the Center for Diseases Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, reports that 35% of American adults don't get enough sleep per night. Chronic partial sleep deprivation is associated with both short-term health risks and long-term complications. In conclusion, by now, you should understand the importance of sleep and why is it important to receive the proper amount. The average amount of sleep a person receives differs by age, but a proper night's sleep consists of at least 8 hours. But being a young mom to Norping baby or the daily life, some people, like college students, can't even receive the proper amount of hours. But as long as you take care of your body with the proper nutrients and vitamins, you will be able to perform your daily functions as a human. So make sure you try and shut your eyes, let your brain recharge and reset, and maybe you can never receive not enough sleep. Thank you.
Any questions for Chloe? I think we all know about that sleep deprivation,
Yeah.
especially college students around exam time. All right. Thank you, Chloe. Julia.
Yes.
Let me see. Did Julissa come? No. Okay. Okay, Julia.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever gone to Starbucks and thought to yourself, what is the history behind this coffee chain and what are its next steps? Maybe you do not think about these deep questions as you are sipping a cup of coffee, or maybe you do not. Either way, 2021 marks Starbucks' 50-year anniversary of developing into the coffee giant it is today. Starbucks is located all across the US, and they are also located in 40 other countries. They must be doing something right. The Starbucks name originated from the novel Moby Dick. Starbuck was the name of one of the shipmates. Throughout the years of being in business, Starbucks is continually making strides to be a sustainable brand. Quite a bit has changed since Starbucks opened its doors in 1971. Founders Jerry Baldwin, Zed Siegel, and Gordon Boker opened the first store in Seattle, Washington. Originally, Starbucks sold roasted coffee beans, tea, and spices. Today, Starbucks sells a variety of coffees, teas, baked goods, sandwiches, and reusable cups.
Starbucks has various locations throughout the world. According to the article, Starbucks dividends, repurchases, or lattes, there are 16,635 stores around the world. To break down that number a bit, there are 11,128 stores in the US and 5,507 international stores. One goal of Starbucks is to bring a connection out with its customers. That's from the article Starbucks at 50, continually reinventing the way we look at coffee. One way they do this is by calling customers by their name instead of what they ordered. When you arrive at Starbucks, the first thing they ask you is your name. This is a way to connect with the customer so they feel like they are more comfortable in the store. Another comfort and convenience feature of Starbucks is they offer customers free Wi-Fi to use in the store. Many people bring their laptops to Starbucks and work while sipping on their coffee. A large strive that Starbucks is making in the coming years is working to become a sustainable brand. According to Starbucks at 50, continually reinventing the way we look at coffee, Starbucks plans on being resource positive by 2030. One way they're becoming sustainable is by introducing reusable cups. This method will create less waste. Another initiative they are taking is investing in reforestation and land restoration projects. Starbucks is also developing eco-friendly stores with energy-efficient lighting, air conditioning, and appliances. Something that we have all probably seen is the introduction of more plant-based menu items. Recently, the Impossible meat has been very popular, and this is all plant-based. In conclusion, Starbucks has come a long way since its opening in 1971. They have worked to fulfill customer needs by making them feel at home when they walk into a store. They have also made big steps in building a more eco-friendly brand. The plans to be sustainable by 2030 are already in full swing. Starbucks is a known brand around the world, and they will continue to make large strides forward.
Okay, any questions?
I do. For Juliet, have you worked at Starbucks before, or you just really like Starbucks?
No, I don't work there, but I'm a frequent customer.
I'm like how they're trying to be eco-friendly is like the thing of reusable cups. The thing is, for post-pandemic and pandemic wise, like they stopped for a while,
Yeah.
like, and then they're trying to bring it back, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
'Cause
They did
I've
stop
seen that,
during.
because I did see that they were like, yeah, no more. And then I went, and then they were like, oh, we might be, starting to do this again. And I'm like, oh my God, when? So I can start bringing my cup again.
Exactly.
I didn't just buy 3 just for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
What's your Starbucks order?
It
Um,
depends.
yeah, that's for me. I mean, I usually just get an iced coffee, a vanilla iced coffee, but right now I get like peppermint, so it's all good.
I'm more of a strawberry acai type of person.
My go-to was the dragon drink with mocha sweet cold foam on top. And like that was my summer drink, and now it's a peppermint mocha.
We got some fans in the house. Okay, that's it. Oh, fun. So quickly. Very good. All right. Just some overall comments. A couple of you fell into the trap of the persuasive speech on question of facts. And you were persuading us instead of informing us. But you did a good job overall, just about everybody, in getting that supporting material to back up what you said. So that's very important. Good improvement with the outlines. But some of you still are doing them as if they are an English paper. And remember, I told you preparation outline for speaking is not the same. And you need to include the same language that you are including in your speech, in your full text. I want to see how do you outline those ideas. That's the whole objective, to see how are you putting together these ideas. There's a certain way that you need to put them together. It's strategic. Okay. All right. Most people stay with the time. A lot of you still are reading a whole lot more often than you are looking at your audience. So that's something that you have to practice. And I think the more you practice your delivery, the less reliable you will be on your notes to where you are. But overall, I'm seeing a very good improvement from day one. Day one was rough, but I think that many of you have adopted a lot of the tips, strategies, and guidelines that I've given you to improve not only your communication and connection with other people, but your speaking ability in front of an audience. Okay, so we're right down to the wire now. Next week is our special occasion speeches, my favorite speeches, the ones that most people may give at some point in their life, even though they might not think of it as a speech. So we're looking forward to those. I'm definitely looking forward to those next week. So again, for next week, remember about that outline, that language needs to be the same. You need to write in full sentences, because it's not a preparation outline and it's not an English paper outline. It's a speaking preparation, a speech preparation outline. Okay, any questions at all about anything?
So for the next class, we have another speech.
Yes, next class, we have our special occasion speeches. And
About
then the class after that is your final exam.
if the speech is about
A special occasion, one of the special occasions that we talked about in class. Do you remember what they were?
honestly no.
Speeches of introduction, remember that? Commemorative speeches, after dinner speeches, speeches of presentation, speeches of acceptance. Okay. Go back and look at the recorded lecture on special occasion speeches if you don't remember. Any questions? Everyone able to view the video for the pet peeve speeches? Okay.
Where do we turn in the evaluations? Because I couldn't find it. I was looking all
Okay,
over.
so it's not a turn in an evaluation. You have to go into the discussion board and actually participate in the discussion. So you have to go in there to the person that you have and tell them about their speech.
Oh, okay.
So on the side, in the menu bar on the side,
It says discussion board.
Yes, click that, and then you'll see the pet peeve speech. Click it open, and you'll see the threads. And then there's a list of who you have to evaluate. That's inside of the that
I
folder.
saw that list, and then I just typed everything on a Word document. So I guess I can transfer it over.
I'm not sure if you can you may be
Well, I
able
mean
to
like copy and paste.
yeah.
Like copy and paste it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. You should be able to do that. No problem. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Well, everybody have a great week. A wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you next week for those special occasion speeches.
Bye. Have a good week. Thank you.
Thank
Have a good week.
Have a nice day.
you. Bye-bye.